Okay, so hopefully you've watched the video on how to form the future tense, and we are now going to work through these 6 examples so that you become more confident in conjugating the future tense. As always, you can pause the video now and have a go at those 6 on your own, following the instructions from the other video, and you can come back to the video once you've had a go at them to see if you were right and see where you went wrong, if that was the case. Or if you really aren't quite sure yet on what to do, then the alternative is to just watch this straight through. So let's have a look at the first one. I will read. If we go back to our PowerPoint from the video first, then we are reminded of the 3 steps we need to follow in order to get there. So the first thing we're going to do is check the learning map to see whether read is an irregular verb in the future tense. And if it's not, we will take the infinitive, and since to read, lire, is an RE verb, we'll be taking the final E away, and then we will have the ending as is there for je, which is AI. As always, if we're not sure of the infinitive for read, we can have a look on the back of the foundation learning map, see if it's there. And in this case, lire is one of the listed verbs useful for GCSE, so we don't have to look it up in the dictionary. If it wasn't there, we'd just need to find a dictionary or an online dictionary and look it up. Okay, so now we've got lire, we need to check to see if it's irregular, and our irregular future tenses are on the back of the higher tier learning mat, and lire is not there. So we are going to go to stage 2, and we're going to jot that infinitive down, and because it's an RE verb, we're going to take off the final E. It's I will read, so although we did just see the ending, we'll have a look at the learning mat to see where it comes from. It's an RE verb, future tense. I will sell, je vendrai, with the ending AI. So that is our ending for I in the future tense. So there we go. I will read, je lirai. They will answer. Now, to answer, we might need to look up. It's répondre. Okay, and we'll find that in a dictionary. Again, next stage is to see if répondre is an irregular future tense. It's not there, and of course, that, as always, that's not an exhaustive list. If it's not there, it doesn't guarantee it's not irregular. It's just not one of the most common irregular verbs, and therefore, if we wanted to be doubly sure, we'd have to check in a dictionary or an online resource. But répondre is perfectly regular, so since it's an RE verb, we take off that E, because all future tense stems, remember, must end in an R. If we get to this stage where we've got the stem and we're about to have the ending, and we don't have an R on the end in the future tense, we know we're wrong. Okay, so all we need now is the they ending. Again, RE verb, future tense, we're in this grid here, so we look at they will sell, ils vendront, and the ending is ONT, so that's the ending we're going to have there. Put in the they and ONT on the end. Ils répondront is they will answer, they will reply. Right, next one, you will leave, okay, is we've got singular and we've got informal, so we are using the to form of the verb, okay, and we are going to use the verb partir here. There are other verbs to leave, like quitter, if you were going to add what it is you are leaving on the end of your sentence, but since we haven't got a sentence, we've just got you will leave, short like that, we will use partir. Okay, so it's an IR verb. Before we move on, we need to check partir is not on that list. It's not. So it's an IR verb. IR verbs already end in R, so we keep the infinitive and we look for the U ending for the future tense. Tu finiras. AS is our ending as shown on you will finish. So that's what it's going to be here. Tu partiras therefore means you will leave. Simple as that. I hope I'm not going too fast, but this tense is slightly easier than the others, I hope you find. Okay, so she will go. Hopefully you know the verb to go without looking it up. It is aller. Okay, you will go. Oops. Right, so there's our infinitive starting point. Now let's check to see if it's irregular. This time, aller is on our irregular future tense list. And we've got j'irai, I will go. So the bit in bold is the stem we want, and the ending has already been added on for I. So our stem is not the infinitive aller, but it is IR this time. So we're going to replace aller with IR because that is the irregular future stem for aller. And then we need to add the ending for she. Doesn't really matter whether we look at ER, IR or RE verbs since the endings are all the same in the future tense. Aller was an ER verb to start with, so we might as well stay in this top box for the future tense. She will play. Elle jouera. The A there in bold is our ending for she. So that is what we're going to add to our stem. Short little word. Elle ira. She will go. Elle ira is irregular. Okay, next one. We will study. To study, we can find on the back of the learning mat étudier. Étudier, to study. And we want we will study. Okay, so check the future tense irregular list. It's not there. So étudier is an ER verb, and we will study. Nous jouerons is we will play. So ONS is the part in bold. That's our ending for we. So that is what we will add on here, ONS. And of course, we mustn't forget to put the word we in. Nous étudierons. We will study. Nous étudierons. Okay, quite difficult to say when you've got the whole infinitive of the stem and it's a long verb. But there we go. Nous étudierons. Nous étudierons. Right. I will become. To become is devenir. So that needs to be looked up if you didn't know it. And devenir, we need to check to see whether devenir is on the irregular future tense list. At first glance, it's not there. Okay, but actually it is. We don't have devenir on the irregular list, but we do have venir. And because devenir has got venir on the end of it, it will behave exactly the same way. So if we look at venir, the stem for venir is V-I-E-N-D-R, viendre. Because I will come is je viendrai. So we start off looking at venir. And we realize the stem for venir is irregular, viendre. So, because if we look, we've got de added to venir to make the whole infinitive devenir. When we are making the irregular stem of devenir, we need the stem of venir, and we need to put the de back in front. So can you see how that works? Venir means to come on its own, and it has an irregular stem, viendre. Devenir means to become. So it's got venir inside it, so we need to keep the irregular future stem, replace venir with viendre, and put the de back on. And that becomes our irregular stem for devenir. And if you think about it, although this doesn't always happen with French and English, we've got the similar idea in the English word as well, because in the word become, we've got the word come. And if you put become into the past tense in English, and you would then have became, and came is the past tense of come. So it works in exactly the same way in English as well, although that is just pure chance. There are other verbs like this in French that don't work the same in English. Right, now we've got our complicated stem, we need to put our ending on for I, and we should know that already. Devenir, IR verb, not that it matters this time because it's all the same, but future tense is AI for je. So that's what we need to add on, because even though the stem is irregular, the endings are always the same as the regular ones in the future tense. Je deviendrai, I will become. And that's it. So I do hope you understand a little bit better about how to conjugate the future tense now.